Jeff, hey, congratulations on your new film, Blackwater Lane.
Thank you. I want to change my name to yours. I like Gig better than Jeff.
Hey, appreciate it. I like to be unique in
Yeah.
own certain way. So Jeff, tell us what drew you to this project that you wanted to direct Blackwater Lane.
Well, I read it and I was scared. I thought it was pretty scary. I thought I could make it even scarier once we filmed it, because lifting it off the page, movies and books and screenplays always get better when somebody cares about trying to go that extra mile and make the film better than the novel or better than the screenplay. The screenplay was really great and the book was really good, but I wanted to do things that would enhance the scenes in the screenplay and scare people. So I was just drawn in by the classicness of it all. I mean, it was a classic kind of story that I've seen in the past, back in the day when Hitchcock was making movies and things like that. So I wanted to make a pure psychological thriller with practical effects and stuff that would really happen to you. I mean, life is scary as it is today. So I wanted to keep that same idea in the movie.
I was gonna ask you like how you wanted to approach a movie like this because and on one hand, if I'm talking about genres, on one hand it feels like a supernatural horror, but on another hand it feels like a psychological thriller. But then the third hand, it's like a crime mystery. I mean, you're
Yeah.
you're
Or,
going
or
across it,
a movie about mental illness.
right? It's like across so many genres, and how did you fit all that into one film and balance all those qualities into the
Well,
film?
it's funny you say that. Those elements we did look at, but I also know that you can't get crazy just on your own and go, this is what I want to do because the audience is going to love it. You can't just randomly do it. So strategy wise, we thought about all those things, but we wanted to keep a tone that was true to the story. And I think that's why you like it because it all kind of came together because I think we did manage to keep the tone pretty solid. Um, I wanted to keep the people guessing all the time. Like, what movie is this? What is happening? Is this real what I'm seeing? And when you do something to an audience that they're not expecting, now you have them and they never know what's going to happen next. Like the old joke, when you kill the dog, you've gone too far and now the audience is terrified because they don't know what's going to happen next. How could you kill the dog? How could you throw the baby out of the car window? Like, oh my God, once those things happen, I think the audience is on that ride with you. And that was kind of the goal.
Well, it seems you accomplished that pretty well, especially the fact how you use the cinematography and the production sets to enhance that storytelling into this film.
Thank you. It was a challenge. We had a very limited amount of time and money. And we were in a location, another country. So at least everybody spoke English in that country. I've done some movies in Moscow where I had translators for everybody. But this was a challenge in the sense that we had a very short schedule, and I had to fit a lot of time in that schedule, a lot of stuff in that schedule.
Did you have to build the sets itself for to match certain scenes? Because I know you showcased a very grand house, and I was going, oh, there's no way that Jeff filmed it there.
Yeah, I did. I filmed the whole thing there, everything. The only thing that was built actually was the renovation room. That's a grand living room that I turned into a room they're renovating with plastic sheeting and scaffolding and ladders and equipment and stuff. So I wanted that to kind of be a spooky area of the house that, one of the goals I went for was, when you have a house and you have a room you never use, and it's got weird plastic hanging, and at night it creates weird shapes and shadows. That was kind of what I went for.
Was that are those tough shoots, especially using the darkness, the shadows, and especially night shoots for a film like this?
Yeah, I mean, night shooting is tough because your internal clock is all off. You wake up in the morning from shooting all night, or you get home in the morning from shooting all night, and then you wake up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you got to go back to work at night. Um, and it's cold. It was a little cold at the time we shot, not freezing, but cold. The house is cold itself because it's It's old. And that kind of stuff, yeah. I mean, it's challenging.
Now, your leading lady, Minka Kelly, through this. Tell us about her in this role and how you wanted to direct an actress to go through so many different stages, because it's not a one-sided character. You could see her evolve, throughout the entire movie, and then evolved at the end of the movie again.
Mhm. Yeah. I wanted her just to be very real and someone that would go through that experience the audience would be able to invest in and believe in and care about. And Minka had all those qualities. You want to just give her a big hug all the time. She's got that personality. You just love her. At the same time, she's super deep and human. She's got all this emotion going on, and she could deliver the emotional life in so many different levels. That's what attracted me to her.
Well said, well said. Now, of course, like a haunting, something like Blackwater Lane here. How much of the sound editing goes into play,
Huge.
yeah.
50% of the movie is sound design. Sound makes a huge difference, and music.
Hmm.
Those two elements in a scary movie are the most important. And when I say sound, I'm talking about the sound effects, the sound design, like the lights in the scene that are she's having like this breakdown. The lights are kind of going crazy, and they're buzzing in the weird angles. I had to create all those sound effects and then make them scary. So I would hear them and go, "That's not scary enough. The buzzing isn't loud enough. I want to feel like I want to leave the room. It's so loud." So they would kind of emanate that.
Feels like a lot of work. Of course, it was very effective. So
No,
how
making a movie's easy. It's like buttering your bread, It's like no, it's like the hardest thing in the world. People have no idea what goes into making a movie. My wife, she's on set with me. She's my assistant, and every movie we finish, she'll get off and look at me and go, "How did we make it through that?" I want to mix into my sets with me and be with me the whole movie, and then at the end, look at me and go, "Okay, I'm going to write about this differently because." Holy mackerel, I had no idea what it's like to make a movie.
that is true. That is true. And one more thing is how different is the story? Not, I know it's scarier. I know you up the levels, but how different is it from the best-selling novel that a lot of people have read?
It's pretty close to it. I tried to stay true to the novel, but I enhanced some things theatrically to make it more exciting in certain places, I felt. I mean, not that the book wasn't exciting, it's just that the book describes it and then I actually show it. So I try to stay close to it. I mean, the biggest change was the three leads are American and not British. The book is British. We asked the writer, she was very open to it. She thought it would be more of an international uh, movie if we had that. And so that's kind of why we decided to embrace it. But we struggled with explaining it, and we found it out during the shooting how we could explain it. And Minka says, we're all expats. You know, um, Maggie Grace was my best friend, and my husband and I inherited the house from my family. Makes total sense. Does the audience believe that when they watch the movie? Did you believe it?
I certainly did. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my goal, was like if I believe it, and I'm a critic, a very critical moviegoer. Although I am I love all kinds of movies. I love deep war pictures that are really well made that win awards because they're so well done. But I also love just entertaining movies. As I say to my acting students when I was teaching acting, what business are we in, guys? The entertainment business. Right. Why are you boring me? You know? Don't bore me. Be afraid to bore. That's kind of I watch movies where I sit there and I go, what is this movie about? What is happening? I don't even know the storyline. And at the end, you go, how did this movie win an Academy Award or win this? Not that I'm putting people down or judging people or I know all. I went to movies as a kid. I got into movies because I saw Mary Poppins and I said to my family, I want to do that. And they go, "Oh, you want to make movies?" I go, "No, I want to be one of those people, the characters." And then I started acting and realized that wasn't really who I was. I was a storyteller because as a little child, I used to tell stories to where my family wanted to put me in a closet and lock the door. They were like, "Stop! You don't stop." Like I just love telling stories and entertaining. That's my goal.
Well, you done it well because we certainly caught the tone of this film. So
Thank you, Gig.
Jeff,
It
thank
doesn't
you.
always work, and I hope that people love it. I did the best job I could with everything I was given, and I'm pretty proud of what came out of it. And so are the people that worked on it, including my DP, who does a lot of big projects in Europe, and he just thought this was like a little gem of a movie, you know.
It certainly is. Jeff, thank you very much for carrying this conversation with us for Blackwater Lane. I can't wait to see what you do next. Your
Thank
next
you.
book.
Thank you, man.